And we're back with another successful marketing, sales, and relationships for adult business owners podcast. And I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long. And today, yes, today, we're talking about email marketing. Um, Before we get started, just real quick, if you are a small business owner with a small team, I mean 0 to 5 employees, you need to get your notepad out. If you are a solopreneur, meaning that you're a one-man band, you're a one-man team, you need to get your notepad out. Because what we're going to do today is we're going to walk through email marketing and just give you an idea of what you could be doing and how you need to be doing it in order to affect your sales. Oh, and by the way, it is a midday version of the podcast. Usually we do it in the AM, but today we are doing it in the afternoon. So let's go. So first and foremost, if you're a small business owner with a small team or a solopreneur, you need as many things working for you as possible. In other words, you need, number one, your social media to act as a recruiter. Meaning that your social media is pulling in potential customers, people who want to give you money. Okay, we talk about marketing a lot, but what that marketing is supposed to do in conjunction with social media is to turn into a recruiter. What do recruiters do? They go out and they find people to fill the needs that you have. And the need that you have as a small business owner with a small team or a solopreneur is money. Why? Because that's what's going to fund your business. That's what's going to put you in position to be attractive to investors. That's what's going to put you in a position to be able to go down to the bank and get those lines of credit. You know, the reason most of you don't have lines of credit right now is because you cannot show a track record of sales. You're not showing them enough of a upside. So with that being said, if you could get your social media to act as a recruiter to bring you more customers, that would go a long way to help you. Number two thing you need is you need the website to close, and close. Now, why do you need your website to close? You need the website to close because now once you use your SEO, now once you've used your free social media, you're driving traffic to something. And that thing you're driving it to is the website. Okay. So when they get to that website, they need to be able to know exactly what you do, why it's beneficial to them, and how to give you some money. Okay. And they need to want to do it as soon as possible. So with that being said, your website needs to close. Why? Because you only got 4 employees, maybe 4 employees, 2 employees. So how are they gonna make products, work the store, or work the packaging, and close clients too? And your job as the owner of the business is to be plotting the vision and making sure that you're the face of the vision and that you're out here promoting the business. By being visible, by making sure that you're making the right moves and bringing in the right people. Because what you're not meant to do is be the employee in your business. You're not meant to be your business's best employee. You're meant to be the person that oversees and sees what next direction we need to go in. Like in 2022, we open in or 2025, we open in another location. That's where you need to be. You need to be down at City Hall, taking pictures and meeting with people so that you can then get the political side and the business side of your business locked in. Like, hey, I'm having lunch with people. I'm on boards. I'm doing all of this type of stuff. But if the website's not closing, then you can't get to that point. Because see, as you start to make that money, you start to have influence. You start to have notoriety. And politicians are going to be a part of that, which means that you're now going to figure out how to get free money, whether it be grants, whether it be opportunities. Money could come your way once you become popular enough for being a great business owner. But this third one we're talking about that you need to be able to use email. Okay. Now, here's what typically happens. Let's say your social media recruits them. Okay. Then you get to the website. Now, some of those people are going to slip through the crack because maybe they're not ready to buy. Because as we talked about in the last few episodes, problems come in cycles. So maybe they're not ready to buy yet. Maybe they're still in the contemplation stage. Maybe they're still in the gathering information stage, because those are the first two stages when a person has a problem. They think about the problem, then they try to find solutions to the problem, but they don't immediately make a decision. But now, because you offer them some type of lead generator, an ebook, a free consult, you offer them something to get their contact information, because a lead is somebody that you can actually contact. Okay, again, a lead is somebody you can contact. Make sure you're following along. So, with that being said, now you got their contact information. So, what do you do with your emails? Okay, emails do three things primarily. The first thing emails do is they drive people toward a deadline. I've helped clients make a lot of money just driving them to the end of the month going, hey, man, you only got 10 days left. Hey, you only got 5 days left. Hey, today's the last day to take advantage of this opportunity. Today's the last day to use your coupon. Today's the last day that you can get 2 for 1, whatever it is. So we use emails to do that, because some of those people might not have been ready to buy, but hey, it's on sale right now. This is a good time to get it. They say the sale's going away. Let me grab it today. Whew. Now, the second thing that emails do is emails introduce a conversation. Hey, thank you for joining my group. Here's what you can expect going forward. Hey, did you know today was this? So now you're just kind of passing out information, which typically gets ignored, to be quite honest with you. After that, hey, here's, the email, here's your login, and all those things. People typically start ignoring the emails, because now they got the program. Now they're going to open it up. And the reason you don't want to get ignored is because you might want to sell them some more stuff. Simple, easy, So if they're not opening your emails and they're slowly starting to slide into the we don't open these, they end up in spam category, that's a problem. So with that being said, you want to be able to introduce conversations. You want to be able to talk about things that are happening going forward, which is going to lead me into my third point. But that's the thing. It's like it's a friendly conversation. So number two, it's supposed to be a friendly conversation between you and your potential customer, or you and your customers. Because again, we want to be able to keep those customers buying longer, buying more often, because that's how we generate profits. Because if we keep buying new customers, then our profits aren't as high. But if we have people who are coming to us who we've already paid for, with sweat equity, with coupons, with things of that nature, now if they're just buying from us because, hey, man, that's a whole lot better. Now, the third thing is, now I'm going to phrase it like this, but then I'm going to explain it. The third thing emails are supposed to do is tell the future. Okay. Shout out to Anthony Iarino. He's the first person that really kind of put me onto this. But emails are supposed to tell the future. One of the ways that I use emails with clients is I talk about things within their industry that are either happening or going to happen, and how it's going to affect their business. So let's just say recession. You work in the financial. Are we having a recession or not having a recession? Okay. So if I think we're having a recession, then I say, hey, here's what I read. Here's the article I found. Here's what the information says, and here's how it affects you. Okay. They're saying that there's possibly going to be a recession. Now, at the time when I was using the recession as a talk point, I was also telling people, hey, the way you fix recessions is through unemployment. So if your customers are in this particular category, you can expect some of them to be unemployed over the next 6 to 8 months. So this is a great time for you to try to sell them on changing industries. This is a time for you to sell them on getting a new job. This is the time for you to sell your services, because you know that there's a strong possibility that they're going to be unemployed. Now, the cool thing about that is, even if they didn't buy right then, because you predicted the future, it gives you more credibility. Like right now, it's harder than ever to get business credit. It's harder than ever to get personal credit. So with that being said, what are we talking about? We're talking about how to get cash. if you don't have the sales to get credit. And if you get the sales, then guess what? It'll be a lot easier to get credit. And obviously, in order for your business to grow, you need lines of credit. In order for you to get into new businesses without spending any of your own cash, you may need credit. One of the things I always talk about is during the COVID period, you know, Dwayne and I were writing a book and starting to work on a book and talking about it, and he got a really great opportunity. I won't go into details, but he got a great opportunity. But he gotten this opportunity because of what he'd been doing and the relationships that he'd been building. See, once you start to prove to banks that you're a good investment, how you pay money back, type of money, that you're using, whether it be business credit card or things of that nature, whether it even be your own personal credit. Because obviously, if you're going to be a smaller business with 0 to 5, you're going to be the personal guarantee on your business card. So that's why your personal credit is important. But once they start to see the track record of deposits and they seeing that, hey man, you spending crazy money, but you paying it off fast. Now all of a sudden they want to give you some money. And the reason they want to give you some money is because of interest. Like, hey, if I give this guy $1,500, he's going to bring me back my $1,500 plus another 3 or 4% that I get to put in my pocket. Now, what if I gave the same guy $15,000? See, now I got more free money coming back in the form of interest. That's how the bank's thinking. So for you at home, the reason we're talking about the sales is so we can get you a solid foundation, a proven track record, so that you can then walk into a bank and say, give me some money. So that you can then sit down with an investor and say, hey, here's the type of capital I'm looking for in order to expand. Because now you become a great risk. Hey, man, we put this money on you. You're already making money. And if we gave you a little help, you could make even more money for the both of us. That's the thought process. Now you're becoming an investment and people want to invest in you. And even with the foundations, you become more of an asset because now you're this really great story. Because see, a lot of times what happens, let's just keep it a buck, keep it a bean. People have these grand openings and we do these pieces. I'm like, so-and-so just opened up. But the real great stories are when those people become wildly successful. The real great stories is when those people get in Target. The real great stories is when those people open multiple locations. The real great story is when they become a success. Because the majority of people didn't know who Carol's daughter was. But then all of a sudden, the success started to come and the notoriety started to come because people wanted to be associated with that success. And now places like Target want to be in business with her. So you see how you get that foundation set right and you get that track record of getting sales? You see how that thing goes 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4? Okay. But in order to do that, we got to get to the point where the emails are closing and becoming a salesperson. So let's go back and talk about it one more time. Number 1, you use emails to drive people to a deadline. Hey, I got a sale ending and here's when it ends. Number 2, you use emails to create a friendly conversation. Friendly conversations are kind of hard to maintain because you have to continually be talking about things that they're interested in. Articles, for example. Hey, read this today, saw this was really interesting. One thing you can use, which is, what's going on in current events and give your take or how it affects their business. The third thing is predict the future. Use things that are coming up that are going to affect the business and then give people a game plan on how to avoid failing during these difficult times. One of the ways that I really helped clients during COVID was like, hey man, they're about to lock everybody in the house. Here's what you need to do to keep your customers. And people tuned in. People took advice. People hired me. Why? Because I had a game plan for something that was happening. And I allowed them to adjust, avoid failure, avoid going out of business. And then there were other people who didn't listen to me and they went out of business. Some people got rich, some people went out of business. Now the people who went out of business, Maybe they should have listened to me. But here's the thing. If they ever get back in business and something else happens, guess what? They're going to listen to me. Why? Because they saw what happened during that time period. And my credibility was boosted because I predicted the future, and I figured out a way to help people avoid the failure, or to come back from the failure, or to lessen the amount of failure they experienced. Which is the same thing we're doing right now, because we know doggone well that inflation is high, which means that people's disposable income is low. So now you got to make a better case for people to give you their money. The support game is over. So with that being said, now you got to figure out how to get customers if you're a small business owner with a small team. Because again, if you're a small business owner with a small team, you're killing yourself trying to work your job, trying to work your business, trying to be a good mom, trying to be a good dad, trying to be a good parent, trying to be a good daughter, trying to be a good, member of your community, your church, or whatever. It's just only so many hours in a day. But if we can get these emails working, now you can make money in your sleep. If we can get this website working, now we can make money in our sleep. If we can use our social media to then recruit people, now we can make money in our sleep. So if we're making money in our sleep, when we get up, now we don't have to work quite as hard. And then we can also use that same money to help leverage lines of credit. We can also use that same money to help pay better so that we can get better employees. Because the thing is when you get better employees, then you get better results. You get better players, your team wins more games. Same thing in business. So with that being said, the goal of everything that we're talking about is to put you in a position to A, have sales, 2, be able to use those sales to leverage it to get credit so that you can then either A, get into other businesses, like buying real estate or like buying cars to flip or like buying equipment that you could then rent out to somebody else, and or you could just open more locations. Because if you got a process that works, maybe it works in multiple cities, maybe it works on multiple sides of town. But in order to get there, hey, man, that social media has to be recruiting. Recruiting like it's Mario Cristobal. Like it's Nick Saban. Sports references for the people who don't get it. Also, the website needs to be closing. Needs to be closing. They need to go to that website and immediately, within 3 seconds, be like, oh man, these people can help me get what I need done. Let me click this button. 3-year-olds should be able to say, oh, I get it. Click. And those people that slip through the cracks, or those people who aren't ready yet, because again, keep saying it, problems come in cycles. There are people who need a trainer right now who didn't need one before Thanksgiving. But now we passed Easter. Now summer coming. I got to get it together. So problems come in cycles. So we need those emails to A, not just get open, but actually create some type of action. Whether it be a buy, whether it be a set an appointment, it got to be some step in those emails that they can do to get closer to the solution that they want. Now you use the conversation just to stay top of mind. So that they're always thinking about you. Now you use number 3, which is to predict the future, to create a sense of urgency. Hey, this is what's going to happen over the next couple days. So what you need to do right now is do the following. It's going to rain tomorrow. You need an umbrella. Guess what? We got umbrellas on sale. It's going to be a blizzard this weekend. We got shovels on sale. It's going to be cold. We got space heaters on sale. See, you predict the future, and then you attach your solution to the problem that the future is going to create. But again, you could send an email out to 500 people if you got 500 people. And now the email is doing the work, not you. How many people can you really talk to? You can't talk to 500 at one time, but an email could talk to each and every one of them. Now, for the people at home are like, hey, I don't have 500 people on an email list. Here's what you do. You take every single person in your phone, every single person that you know, every single person on your Facebook, your social media, people that you work with, and then you tell those people what you got going on. You say, hey man, do you know anybody who's interested in buying a used lawnmower? And guess what? Eventually somebody buys the used lawnmower. Same thing with your business. Just got off the phone with a client who sells lotions. It's like, hey man, you got all of these people coming in and out of your store. Why don't you just ask them? They come in and out of the store each and every day. Hey man, Mother's Day is coming up. Do you know anybody who likes lotions? Because we have these gift baskets that would be perfect for Mother's Day. And then she has beard oil. Hey man, do you know any men who likes fragrances and are looking to, get a soft, smooth, beard? Because Father's Day is coming up. We got these baskets. Hey, do you have any kids that are going away to college? You want to make sure that, they take care of their skin because now you're not there to tell them to wash their face. We got these baskets. Hey, you got anybody graduating? You know anybody graduating who, maybe's moved to another town and, it's going to be real stressful for them to, be on their own for the first time. We got these skincare products because usually stress makes people's skin break out. So now those people go out and they work for you, which is extremely important if you are a small business owner with a small team. So now your sales force is being created through referral, through email marketing, through social media recruiting, through website sales. So now you don't have to work as hard because I got my customers bringing me customers. Remember, you're a small team, only so many hours in a day. You want to be able to go and spend time with your loved ones. Go on a date. Go to the doctor with your mama. Go see your kids' recital or the basketball game. But if you constantly have to work because, man, we only have so many people, how are you going to do it? You're going to do it by referral. Those people are going to then come in and send people in. You do it by sending out emails. And if you don't have the email, then you got to use that referral. You got to use the, hey, oh, by the way, do you know anyone? And if you're really strapped for sales right now, here's what you need to do if you have an email list. Just go back through your email list and ask people, hey, did you ever get the problem solved? It's that simple. If not, we're running a special from now until July 3rd, where you can get the following. Because if they didn't get the problem solved, and it is a problem, eventually they're going to want to get it solved. Number two, on the things you can do, if sales are kind of slagging thing, man, look at when the time of the month and build your marketing around the time of the month. So if we're going into the end of the month and your people are going to be broke, your people are going to be upset, your people are going to be struggling, and your product helps them struggle less, then at the end of the month, you talk about it. Like for me, man, I talked about, hey, how was that first quarter? If your first quarter was not what you wanted it to be, here's a way for this quarter to be better. We get to the end of the month. Hey, man, it's almost time to pay rent on that brick and mortar location again. How are you doing with sales? Here's a program that can help you. Give me a call. I can help you. Why? Because I know at the end of the month, the people who haven't had great sales are going to be like, man, I got to give these people another $1,500. Maybe I should just close. But depending on how long your lease is, you probably can't close. So if you can't close, then you need to get some help. So with that being said, each and every time you have an opportunity, reach out. Use it to the best of your ability. Because if you're a small business owner with a small team, or if you're a one-man team, you need as many free salespeople as possible. And the cool thing about email marketing and, website conversion is that they don't get sick, they don't call off, they don't ask for a raise. And if you can use social media as your number one recruiter, or your number two recruiter in conjunction with referrals, and then also leverage people who know you and know of you to then help you either A, bringing you business, or B, by buying something. Now all of a sudden you get that track record we talked about. Get that track record we talked about. You're able to start paying some bills. You're able to start hiring some people, and you're also able to start sitting down with investors and banks. Now you're able to look at the bank and say, hey man, I'd have paid y'all extra each and every month for the last 5 months. I need my limit increased. Hey, I know that I've been paying on this business card and into this debit account for my business. Yeah, now I need an actual line of credit. Because see, those business cards, all those are is them searching out who might possibly be a good investment. Now, the reason they give that money to people who might be a good investment is because of interest. Because interest for them is just free money. You know, if I could send you out with $1 million and you bring me back $1 million plus whatever 3% of that is, that's like 30 grand, I believe. So now I just made 30 grand just by giving you the money for a few months. And if I got 10 or 15 or 20 of those going at the same time, man, I could be doing $1 million a day just off small business owners, just off house flippers, just off people buying equipment and then renting it to other people, just off people, who are taking the money and then going and buying cars at the auction and then cleaning them up and selling them on their lot. All things you can do at home, by the way. You don't need some major corporation. You just need to put together a plan with your emails and your social media and your marketing to make sure that social media is recruiting and that your emails and your website are closing. And then anybody who slips through the cracks, anybody who left over, then you close them. You get in their face. You get nose to nose with them. And you bring them home. But here's the cool thing. If you pay good, you don't have to be the person that meets with those people. But the only way you pay good is if there's money coming in. Because now you can hire somebody who can close. Just inked a deal a couple weeks ago. And part of the deal is that, hey, man, I will take on all of your clients who are wanting to leave. Anybody who's saying they want to cancel, send them to me first. Why? Because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that those people have problems. And the only reason they're leaving is because they got a problem. So let's just figure out what their problem is. And if it's sales being down, I know how to jumpstart sales. So cool. You sit down with me. I look at, your website. I look at your emails. I look at your social media. I look at your ability to close or not close. Then I look at your staff. Those are the 5 things. And then if we need to make some adjustments or corrections in any of those areas, I can actually help you. Which in turn will now keep you as a member of their customer roster and also allow me to see a little extra money in exchange. Just full transparency, something I thought I'd let you know that was going on. But at the same time, anybody who has any questions of me personally, go over to growandrich.com. Yes, baby. Go over to growandrich.com. Click the Just Get Started button. It's going to get you 30 minutes with me. Again, with me. My work has contributed, man, we in 8 figures now. I've worked with business women of the year, multiple winners, Emmy winners, USA Today business women of the year winners, former mayors, attorneys. I wrote a book with one of the richest men in the country, African-American men in the country, probably one of the richest men in the country at this point. But anyway, I'm pretty sure there's something in all of that I could then impart upon you, either that I helped them with or that they taught me. Because sometimes they teach me stuff too. Let's keep it about. Oh, and in regard to websites, man, I'm probably one of the few people on the planet who can actually say that they put together a website that did $1 million. One of the few, I imagine. And when I say one of the few, I'm saying that there's billions of people out there, and I bet there ain't billions of people who did it, which makes me one of the few. Anyway, with that being said, if you got any questions, leave them in the comments, DM me, but I would really prefer that you go over to growandrich.com. Again, we're going to talk about how well your social media is recruiting, how well your website's closing, how well your emails are re-recruiting and closing. You know, what you're doing when you're actually in a meeting. What you're doing in a meeting? Are you talking too much? Are you not listening? Are you not asking the right questions? Are you not asking for the sale? Because a lot of times we don't have sales just simply because we don't ask. You'd have had this whole meeting with this person, and then you'd let them hit you with the, yeah, we'll get back with you. No, that's not how we moving. Hey, here's what the next step is. I'm going to give you guys till Monday to think it over with, and then I'm going to follow up with you. How's that sound? Okay. You give them a timeline. You make sure that you listen so that you know exactly what problem they need solved so you can solve the right problem. And if you can't solve the problem, then you know how to go back and create a solution. Hey, man, I really thought about what you guys said the other day. Here's a couple of things that I think would really help you and I come to some common ground. We'll create a process that does the following. You don't give me a process. You just tell them that you'll create a process that does the following. And the following is usually allows them to get over the hump that they're trying to get over so that they can achieve their goal. So don't oversell, don't overtell, don't try to teach. Just listen, figure out what the problems are, tell them that you put together a process that will allow them to get over that easier, faster, simpler, with less stress. And in order to figure out the process, here's what you're going to need for them to do next. So again, that's what you do. But if you are at home, small business owner with a small team, 0 to 5 people, and you want this quarter, the next quarter, and the quarters they're on after that to be better than this one is, call me so we can get that social media recruiting. So we can work your warm traffic and your cold traffic and get some of those people buying so that we can use email marketing as a salesperson, use your website as a closer so that you can have the beautiful, wonderful business that you deserve, because a beautiful, wonderful business gives you an even more beautiful, wonderful life. And as always, this has been another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. And I guess now technically small business owners with small teams and solopreneurs too. With that being said, this your business big bro telling you that he loves you. And I'm out, man. Have a great day. This has been Lunchtime episode. Tell me if lunchtime was better than early in the day for you. If not, and you're watching it on the playback, man, God bless you and thank you for taking the time to tune in and rock with me. I'm out.